So I'm Sean with the Insurance Center, and we're excited that we're now the endorsed insurance agency for the IATP. We have a great partnership program that we're excited to roll out. We just rolled it out at the annual convention at Round Rock in Texas, and we had great response. We're excited for it, for the new program, for the possibilities that you have to get insurance at a great price with specific to your needs. And so that's kind of what the new program is, that we're gearing it specific toward your needs. We want to start out with an outline, and so the presentation is a partnership program. We want to make sure that we're partnering with you, that it's not just a transactional, it is a partnership. We want to be with you the whole way, whether you're starting a new park or whether you have a couple hundred parks in existence. We want to help you with risk management, with setting things up and making it a true partnership, and not just here's your renewal, here's your insurance, here's an application. That's not us. And so the outline will go as follows. We're going to talk about the goals that the IATP had for their insurance program. Then we're going to talk about Trampoline Park insurance history, because it's fun and interesting to hear where it was and what it is now. Then why would you want to choose the Insurance Center? We're going to explain why the Insurance Center is going to be your best option. And then the benefits of the new IATP program. And then finally, who's going to qualify for this program and what it takes to get in. Because everybody is not going to qualify. We want as many people in as possible, but you need to be a good park, and we want to make sure that we get you to the good park. If you don't qualify now, we want to put things in place so in the future you will. Let's go to the IATP goals. The first goal for the IATP for the insurance program was affordability. It needs to be reasonably priced and affordable for all. And so we've accomplished that goal. The next one is availability. We wanted it available for everyone. We, as the Insurance Center, we put this program together for these purposes, but not everyone's going to fit into that insurance program specific for the IATP. Good thing is we have multiple other insurance carriers that if you don't qualify now, we can put you with another carrier that in a couple of years, doing our risk management techniques and tools, you'll be able to get into that program. So it will be for you and for everybody out there. We wanted stability. In the past, the insurance has been around with the trampoline parks since 2004, and we're going to get into that, but it's been a roller coaster ride. We've seen everything going up and down. We started in 2010 writing parks, and I think we've written with general liability with about 15 different insurance carriers. That's not very stable. They come and go. It's an up and down ride. With this new carrier, we want to make sure that it's stable and has longevity to make sure that you are taken care of. Then they wanted to make sure that there were appropriate coverages, which include general liability, excess liability. Excess is becoming more and more difficult to find, and it's becoming more and more expensive. Work comp, property, directors and officers, D&O, your EPLI, which is your employment practice liability, cyber, because cyber is becoming more and more important, and then auto insurance. We wanted to make sure that we could gather all of that and put it into a package for you. Now, the insurance park history. So back in 2004, a manufacturer came to us at the Insurance Center and said, hey, look, I've got this new idea. And what it was trampolines hooked end to end, and on one end was like a basketball hoop, only much larger, and on the other end was a basketball hoop. It was in Las Vegas, and what they wanted to do was start a new sport. And so they were excited. It was a mixture of trampolines, basketball, and football, all combined into one. Sounds like a ton of fun, right? So we said, great, let's look at this. Let's see what we can do to insure this. Well, in 2004, we scanned all of the markets. And guess how many we found? 0. We failed. We couldn't find insurance for them. And so we felt terrible that we couldn't provide a product for them. But they went on their way. They got it insured someplace. We don't know where. The sport never took off, but a unique thing happened was as the park remained, there were people who would walk by and say, "What's in there?" And the kids would peek in the windows and say, "Hey, that looks like it would be fun." And so they asked the owner, "Hey, can we go and jump on that? I see no one's in there. Can we go and try that out?" And there was about 3 or 4 of them that started the first day. Then the second day came and they brought their friends, and now there's like 10. And then the third day, the park owner or the owner of the facility said, "Hey, if you're going to do this, I'm going to have to charge you money." They said, "Great, we're happy to pay." And that is the beginning of the trampoline insurance parks back from 2004. So now let's fast forward to 2010. There are about 10 trampoline parks that are around the United States. And so a manufacturer came to us and said, "Look, now we want insurance." So again, we canvassed the insurance markets and were able to find insurance in 2010. And so at the insurance center, that was the first trampoline park that we wrote, and it was about the 10th in the nation. From there, now we write several others. But what we did was we figured we needed to figure out how to get safety in there. And so we sat on a lot of the meetings for the ASTM and had a little bit of input, but more to listen and learn, because we wanted to be educated on what was going on in the industry. So then we could take that information and send it to the insurance carriers so that they would be more apt to write the insurance business for the trampoline parks. And so we feel that knowledge is key, both for us and for the park owners, to be educated for safety, for all different risk management tips and tools. Fast forward a couple years, the IATP is now founded. And so we, the Insurance Center, is a founding member of the IATP. And so we're proud of that we've been in existence since the beginning and helped out. We've attended every annual convention. We've spoken at most of them, and we've had a booth at all of them. And so we're here for the ups and downs and for the roller coaster rides. I remember in 2014, we had one of the carriers that was probably the predominant insurance carrier that was writing business. On February 1st, we received a letter in the mail. And we had email, but they didn't send us any email. And the carrier said, "We are non-renewing and canceling flat all trampoline parks effective February 26th. This was devastating. We had a ton of parks insured with this insurance carrier, and we were in panic mode. We had less than 4 weeks to find out and to get other insurance for all of our trampoline parks. Well, we were able to secure and talk to other insurance carriers. We were able to get and mitigate and take care of our clients and our trampoline park owners, but it was really challenging. And so that was one of the devastating and challenging moments in the insurance for the trampoline parks. There has been a few others. In 2021, another insurance carrier that was, again, the predominant insurance carrier, they pulled out of the market. This time they gave us plenty of time. They said, "Look, at your renewal is when we're not going to handle the insurance anymore." And so we had several months to secure other insurance for our trampoline parks. Advantage now is there's a handful of insurance carriers that are insuring trampoline parks. And so we represent them. And so if one doesn't work, then we have another one. And if that doesn't work, we have another one. And so depending upon what your needs are, we're able to take care of that. Now, 2023, we have a new insurance program, and we want to think that we're changing the way you think about insurance. And the reason why we're doing that is because in the past, you would have that transactional relationship that we discussed where, "Hey, look, here's my information, go find a quote, give us a quote, okay, thanks, sign up, and then at renewal, here's your renewal," and that's it. So it was more transactional. What we want to do is change your way of thinking and involve us as the insurance broker and the insurance carrier in more day-to-day activities. so that we don't find out a year or two later that an attorney is suing you. We want to know if there's a major injury. We want to know in advance so that we can take care of that. A lot of times people think of insurance as the last resort. That's the last thing I want to do is file a claim. And so, the insurance is there to take care of you in the event something does happen. And so the earlier we know about it, the better we can deal with it. And so, for instance, if you have a broken bone and you go to an orthoped, then you're going to go and have surgery. That's what it is. And so you know that that's it. Well, instead of being the orthoped surgeon, we want to be the family practitioner where we are taking care of you on a regular basis. We're having well checkups. We're discussing where there's a possibility of injury or a possibility of sickness. And so in order to do that, we need to have conversations and going back and forth. And so we want to be your family practice doctor instead of just your surgeon. Here at the Insurance Center, we have a high standard of excellence. And so we want to talk about why now come to the Insurance Center, because there are other insurance agencies out there. And so we feel that we're the most qualified because we've been in the industry since the beginning, and probably longer than any other insurance company out there that we're aware of. Also, we are a best practice insurance agency. This is a big award, a recognition that we've received. And so what happens is there are 40,000 independent insurance agencies out there in the United States. 2,800 of them were nominated to receive this award. And we had to fill out an application, and we have to do it every year. And it takes 20 to 25 hours of work on our behalf to try to get this award. They go through all facets of the agency. They know everything about us, from compensation for our team members, from client retention, from the response time, how long it takes us to get back to our clients. They know how much business we have. You name it, they know all about it. It's done by Reagan Consulting, so it's a third party. They're not an insurance company. It's a third party source that does this study. And so out of the 2,800 that were nominated, 282 receive the award. And so we are one of those 282 agencies nationwide that have received this award. And so not only did we receive it in 2023, but we've received it 5 years in a row since 2019. So we're obviously doing something right that Reagan Consulting sees, and so we're going to help you. All that transfers over to you, because what that means to you is we're going to take care of you. We're going to do our best doing ethical standards and best practices to make sure that you're taken care of on a regular basis. Then the other thing is we are a founding member of the IATP. I think we're the only current insurance agency that is a member that can say that we're a founding member of the IATP. We've been there, done that, and we're not staying happy with status quo. We're always looking for better ways to improve, and hence the 2023 insurance program. We want to just talk about the highlights. We want to really, when you have more questions, we want to do a one-on-one, but this is just the broad 20,000 view overlook so that you can have an idea of what this new program is. The main thing is the underwriting is based specific on your needs. So in the past, if you had one trampoline in your park, then you would be deemed a trampoline park. And so you could have one, or you could have 25,000 square feet, and you're going to have the same premium. Well, we didn't think that was fair. And so we want to make sure that your adventure park takes care, the insurance takes care of your adventure park, whatever it is, specific to each attraction, specific to how many claims you've had, specific to the revenue, specific to your payroll. So we take all of the information and gather it in and give you a specific rate specific for you. And so realize that that's unique, and it's a way of changing the way you think about insurance as well. The next item is we have a $10,000 accident endorsement policy on this policy with a 0 deductible. So what that means is it's not a med pay plan. So if someone gets injured, they don't automatically get $10,000. What we're going to do is work with you, with our claims department, and discuss things. A lot of times we've found where someone is injured and they have a $3,000 deductible and they have to go to the emergency room, and they don't have the $3,000. With everything that's going on in today's world, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. This will enable us, along with your giving us the green light, to take care of that person. Maybe just take care of their deductible of $3,000, and then their insurance will take care of everything else. That we've found that by doing that, we're not eliminating, but reducing the amount of attorney letters and lawsuits that we're getting, because people are happy that you took care of them, that you have their best interest in mind. And so in the past, you would just say, no, we're not doing anything. And then in the injured party, it festers, and they may call you up and say, hey, what can you do? And you would say, nope, can't do anything. And then they'd get mad, and then they'd get an attorney, and then there would be a lawsuit, and then there would be a lot of defense costs, and then your insurance goes up because now you've had a lot of claims. With this new program, with the $10,000 accident endorsement, we can get rid of those things, because anything that's paid out under this does not show up in your loss runs, doesn't show up as a loss. And it helps morale with the team members. It helps overall with all of your clientele that are coming in to the park. It's a win-win for everybody to have this endorsement on there. Another thing is we do loss control inspections. And so this is huge, because now as that family practitioner doctor, we're finding any weak links into your system. Maybe you don't have adequate signage. Maybe there's a possibility of an injury because of a certain attraction you have. And if you just tweak it a little bit, it's going to be a safer park. And so we're going to come in and do a loss control inspection, and then share that data with you on how you can prevent or how you can lessen the chances of injury in your park. That's the key. We want to make sure that it is fun. I mean, really, you guys are selling smiles, right? Everyone's in there, they're having a good time, they want to be happy, but as soon as there's an injury, then it's panic mode and people are not as excited. So we want people excited to come to your park because it's a happy place, not an injury place. Then we have risk management tools. So once we find out any weak links in your armor, we're going to have risk management tools that will enable you to stay on top of things, as far as checklists on maintenance on a daily basis, and as far as incident reporting apps. We have a really cool that we're excited about. It's an online incident reporting app, and it's going to help with the way that your employees document any incidents. And so we'll discuss that. Another big key is non-auditable premiums. I know that you don't have the time or the effort. It's a pain. Everybody wants to know, okay, what did you do for the past year? And then you have to charge more in your premiums based off of the audit. Well, from here on out with this new program, we're not going to have audits. So once we look at it, we're going to look at your past history, how much premium or how much revenue you had, what your payroll was, what attractions you have to determine the rate. Then moving forward, we're going to adjust it only moving forward, not going back. So that's a key point, non-auditable premiums. Then the insurance carrier is willing to offer you, this is an exclusive program to the IATP, and so you have to be a member, but the insurance carrier is going to discount the insurance so that you can pay, and it's equal to the cost of the membership of the IATP. So you're basically going to get a free membership. The reason why they do that is because at the convention, there were 33 different training courses that you could attend. If you're a member and following these examples and these sessions, you're going to be a better park. And that's how the insurance company is going to give discounts, because being members makes you a better park because of the training and all of the sessions that you went through. And then also, we're going to be doing a training at least once a quarter. It's probably going to be about every other month to help you. And so look for those trainings that we are going to be doing at the Insurance Center to add value, not just give you an insurance quote and say, here. Our job is to add value above and beyond the insurance. Again, we've talked about risk management, and some of the insurance agencies out there saying, well, we have risk management, and then nothing gets done. Well, it's great that they have risk management inside the agency. We personally do not have it inside the agency. It's a third party, and so we're here to help you. And so we're going to utilize those risk management tools, not just say we have them. We're going to get them in front of you so that they can benefit and help you. What we were finding is the employees would take an incident and they would do a narrative, and they would say, this person was injured on the trampoline. It looks like there was a double bounce, and it was a larger person that double bounced and hurt the smaller person. And the broken leg, it was the worst broken leg I've ever seen. There was blood everywhere. Bone came out, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Well, that's what they wrote in the incident report. And so if they do that, those documents are going to be held in court if you get sued. So now what we did was, everything is a drop-down box. Click, 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 click. We've made it simple, and so we've made it so that it's on your cell phone, and so they can do it right then, just via cell phone. They can go into the office and type it in on the computer. We've made it so simple and easy for this incident reporting app, and it's kept people out of trouble with the narrative. So it's really simple. There are a lot of questions. There's 58 questions on it. And so, but it's click, 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 click. It doesn't take very long, and it's going to keep you out of trouble. Other things that we're doing to change the way you think about insurance is we want to be proactive instead of reactive. We want to know if there was a major claim or a major incident so that we can be in front of that person, as we discussed with using that accident plan, the endorsement, to help you get in front of the person and get that taken care of sooner than later. We also do waiver reviews. This is important because the waiver, there's several different clauses that the waiver should have. And so we want to make sure that your waiver is, I'd like to say, bulletproof. Nothing is completely bulletproof when it goes to attorneys in court, but we want to make sure it's as defensible as possible. And so we're going to do a waiver review free of charge for you and give you tips on what you could do to change that. We talked about the loss control inspections, and so those are going to be key. A lot of times people say, I don't want anybody in my park. I don't want anybody looking at, what's going on in my park. But really, I think you do, because it's going to benefit you. If you have something that isn't perfect, would you rather know it in advance and be proactive rather than find it out in a claim? And so once you see the loss control inspection form and the completed version, you're going to actually love it and think, oh yeah, that's great. I've done 99% of everything perfect, and now I just got to change this one thing. And so that's typically what we find. Most things are done very well. Just a couple things can be tweaked. We want to provide you assistance with a defensibility. We want to make sure that your park is defensible in the event of a lawsuit to protect you as best we can. And by using these risk management tools, by having a loss control inspection, this is going to help with that defensibility. Along with that app that we talked about, we also it also shows great statistics, because there may be a time of day where a lot of your claims are happening. We're going to let you know that. We're going to say, look, Friday evenings from 8 to 10, you had 10 incidents this past month. What's going on during that time period? And it may be you have a glow in the night dark night where every light's shut off. And so now what we need to do is we may need to just tweak the lumens up a little bit and then put glow in the dark spots to prevent those injuries. That's just one example of what we've done to help mitigate and to help losses, because we're going to be able to tell you what time of day and what day of the week most of your incidents are happening in, along with a ton of other statistics that go along with that online reporting. One of the things that people are concerned about with the Insurance Center is our submission requirements. And so they say that we require or request more information than other insurance agents. And that's true. We're going to admit that. We do. We want to know everything there is about you and your park, because the more information we have, the better the rate we're going to get. If you go to the doctor and say, I'm sick, and the doctor's not going to know where to start. But if you go, doctor, I've got a skin disease right here on my arm, I don't know what it is, can you help me? They're going to be able to give more information and help you better. And so what we're going to do is we're going to request a lot of information, which includes applications. We have a specific application for us. Then we're going to want loss runs, which we request loss runs. We want to know what your history is. We want to see your waiver so we can do a review and make sure that all of the main points are in your waiver. We want to see copies of your employee training, your safety, and your maintenance documents, because we want to make sure that not only do you have them, but you're using them, because that's the worst thing that can happen is you have these documents, but you don't follow them, and then a lawsuit happens and you have to go to court and you have it, but you're not following it. That's trouble. We don't want to do that. We want to keep on top of things and being proactive. We want to see your websites, brochures, photos. We want to see as much as possible about your attractions. We want to know the ownership breakdown, what experience you have. We want to see resumes. We want to see lease agreements. We want to make sure that that your insurance is adequate to meet your lease agreements and any other contracts that you may have. We want to make sure that you are compliant, because that's the main thing. We want to take care of you, and the more information we have, the better. We often talk about the information being the colors on a palette for painting a picture. And so if you only give us one or two things, we're only going to be able to paint maybe just a stick figure and not a very nice picture. And so, but if you give us everything, then what's going to happen, we're going to be able to paint this beautiful Mona Lisa and then present that to the insurance carriers. And so if an insurance carrier sees a Mona Lisa or a stick figure, which picture are they going to value more and give lower premiums and more discounts? The better the picture, the nicer the picture we have, the more the submission requirements are received, which means better rates for you. That's the ultimate goal, is to make sure that we have competitive rates, competitive coverages, and that we're taking care of you in the event of any claims. The key is make sure you're telling us all of the information, because we found where people hide things or don't tell us the full truth, and then it's going to come out at one point or another. And so it's important to be upfront and honest with us, because we don't want to have something that we didn't know about and then a claim happen and not know if there's coverage or not. We like the black and white. Yes, there's coverage. No, there's not coverage. And so we like to inform you of that. We don't want the gray area and say, well, maybe there is, or if you would have told us this, then there would have been. It's best to be upfront, honest, and then we can be upfront and honest with you as well. And we can have a proposal that provides you the coverages and the premiums that you deserve. With the Insurance Center, you can see that we take pride, we take passion, we love what we do. We love helping our trampoline park owners to get the insurance that they need at a price that they can afford. And so make sure that you give us a call, ask us questions. Let's get into more details and get into the weeds on all of these coverages to help you understand so that you're educated so that you can make a proper decision and to come with the Insurance Center through the new IATP insurance program. Thanks, everybody.